Yo, yo, yo. Testing, testing. Is everything on? Do I sound good? Do I sound good? Mic check, mic check. Y'all know I check my phone. Yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Testing, testing. Is everything on? Do I sound All right. Good? Everything is going smooth. What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Classic. Welcome to the Take It Home podcast, where we talk about professional wrestling topics. I interview wrestlers, which I get to do today, and I also put up my matches as Classic Alpha. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. Before we bring in the man of the hour or two, thank you for letting me know the audio is working. Like I said, trying to get used to this new app. So shout out to you, Arshawn, and Critically Drinking and Yella as well. Yellow Pill, shoot from the script. Um, Before we get into it, you guys know I got to get my shout outs of what I have going on. First and foremost, this week actually, I'm so behind. This week in Appleton, Wisconsin is New Year's resolution for Now That's Wrestling. We return to Appleton, and it is also my first show of the year as it is now. So make sure you get your tickets for that um, as well. And then a few weeks later, myself and the guest for today will also be here at 15, the takeover. It is the 15th show of C3 Ultimate Wrestling's history. And though I'm trying to get everything back on track, this is still somewhat of a celebration to the history of C3 Ultimate Wrestling. And even the guest today has a big part and play into the greatness of C3 Ultimate Wrestling. So make sure you get your tickets. You can get tickets on Eventbrite, or you can go through Zelle, DOCCHRIS. Once again, that is DOCCHRIS. All right, give me 1 second. Gonna make sure everything is good. All right, Dose, what up, DJ Dose? Heart and soul of C3 Ultimate Wrestling. So here we go. Yo, yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's going on, sir?
Just another day in paradise.
That's some jury. I'm blinded. I'm blinded by the solar flare.
You know the vibes. You know the vibes, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Prepare to be the best version of me I can be.
Yes, sir. So before we get into it, could you tell everybody unfortunately, who may have not seen C3 Ultimate Wrestling or the work that you do, who you are and what you represent in professional wrestling?
All right, cool. So, for those of you that have been living under a rock, I am the greatest black wrestler in the Chicago area. I am Jackson Stampede Larkin. And what I mean to professional wrestling, I am truth. I am a hard truth. I am the pill that is hard to swallow. I am everything that you wish you were and everything that you want to be. In short, I'm the wrestler that you've been dreaming about, but also the wrestler you've been seeing. And I'm here to win.
Okay. Stampede Larkin. Um,
And I am the powerhouse of the greatest stable in the Chicago area, the ARC, and one half of your C3 Ultimate Tag Team Champions with the King himself, Miles Mercer.
no debate with that. I mean, the belt doesn't lie. So that's good. When I go live and I talk about shows that are happening for C3 Ultimate Wrestling, a lot of the fans and the watchers and new subscribers, they always bring you up. They always bring the ARC up because a lot of people love the work that you do. Regardless if it's a good or a bad thing, it is something that draws attention to people to where they want to see it. They want to buy tickets and stuff. What makes the ARC different from any other faction? Because there's a lot. But when you think of the ARC, you think of everybody in your group who've come and gone and have stayed. What makes you guys different? What is the consistent factor that you guys bring to professional wrestling?
It goes back to how I describe myself. We are a group of, see Red's words, not mine, really good looking, talented individuals. I think one of the things that make us different is that we have Renee Van Peebles between the being. She is one of the centerpieces, if not the centerpiece of the group, and the only and longest reigning C3 Ultimate Women's Champion in the group. You don't see too many groups that have a woman so strong at the helm, and she has been on top for so long. You got that. Then even our the relationship with me and Miles is very real because even though brothers, we butt heads. We do, and it's real. But that's because we love each other and we just want what's best for each other. Our approaches might not be the same, but our goal is we hold these. We're the most real group of people you will find. We're also a collection of individuals with a common goal versus your cookie cutter groups of people that are like, hey, look, we're a gang. We should team up with them. Or, oh, yeah, I'm an up and coming. Like, no, no, no. We all want number one, and we're all willing to get there. And we're all there. It's not about playing a role. It's about being the best at what we can be and grabbing whatever we can by any means necessary.
Okay, I do want to say this real quick. That's a big thing to even state because usually when you're in a group or a stable, if you will, it's a cohesive unit and you move as one body, right? But when you guys are individual, you guys are also almost unstoppable. So that's like a big thing because some people are like, I can't do anything without my group, but you guys can put the work in by yourselves, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Some is like, I can't go out anywhere, but you guys have won singles competitions. Y'all have done things by yourselves, handle triple threats and things like that. And that's like definitely a huge thing in professional wrestling. But before we get any further with the ARC, I want to ask you questions about you. How long have you been wrestling, and why did you decide to be a professional wrestler?
So I've been wrestling. We'll call it since 2020, since the pandemic. I had my first match right before the pandemic hit. So I've been wrestling since the end of 2019. And what made me a professional wrestler is, when you're growing up, you probably played baseball or basketball and things of that nature. Even then you grow out of those things. Like you no longer want to play t-ball or you no longer want to do this or do that. I can
Yeah.
honestly say that in my entire life that wrestling has been one of the key constants that I've had in my life. And when something sticks with you for your entire life, yeah, it's something you have to take care of it, cherish it as your own because it's been with you for so long. And also to add to that, I have my grandparents to thank for me being a wrestling fan. I used to, when they were both alive, God rest their souls,
Hmm.
we used to watch Raw, we used to watch Nitro, we used to watch SmackDown together up until the day that they both passed away. It was the time I got to bond with both of them. It's actually how I really got close to my grandfather. My grandfather is not my biological grandfather, so as a kid, he doesn't look like anybody in the family. You know what I mean? So I'm like, who's this dude? But that is how an avid wrestling fan, and I know she was a real fan too because her favorite wrestlers were, besides The Rock, it was Booker T and D'Lo Brown. That's how you know it's real
Yeah.
when you start name dropping D'Lo Brown and everything. So, yeah, it being a constant and along with my grandparents' passion for it is it's why I'm here. I have both my grandparents to thank for me and the career that I'm trying to carve out.
Okay. That's cool. I've said it myself, and I sound like a broken record because a lot of the wrestlers that I do interview, they say almost the same thing about how they were introduced to wrestling, and usually it's with grandparents. I saw it through the televisions of my great grandparent, my papa, basically, and that's how I got hooked, and that's how we bonded as well.
I gotta say, that's a different question. How did I find out about wrestling? I found out about wrestling actually through a video game.
Okay.
I was just a kid in Blockbuster, dating myself. A kid in Blockbuster, and I just saw like I forget which game it was. I think it was Real Rumble or something. And I was just like, oh, this looks cool. And the only person I knew how to play with was Shawn Michaels. So I would just always pick Shawn Michaels and do Royal Rumble with Shawn Michaels and everything. And then one day, I think my grandfather was over the house, and him and my dad ordered WrestleMania, and I was just like, "Oh, it's real." I didn't know. Like, I thought they were just video games. So when I saw them on TV, I was just like, "Oh, this is what I'm playing." So from there, I connected the dots, and then I saw my grandparents watching it when I went downstairs. And I was like, so I was
Okay.
introduced to the video game.
Okay. Yeah, I was talking more towards the bonding part with
The
the
bonding story.
grandparents, but yeah, no, I get you. No, I definitely get it. So, like I said, look, video games, have been a great part of my life as well.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I still play them, but as far as like bonding with the grandparents, that's always like a dope thing because usually that's like a big tradition that you'll never forget. Especially like it don't even have to be wrestling; it can be anything. And
Mm-hmm.
at
Absolutely.
one point I used to hate going to my great grandparents' house, but then when that wrestling came on, I was like, oh, I love
That
you
was heat.
guys. Like I love you guys. You guys are my friends. Like oh my goodness, we're going to watch wrestling because at the time we didn't have much at my house but they
Right.
had, and that's when I started watching wrestling. But speaking of being introduced to it by video games and using Shawn Michaels, who were wrestlers that you wanted to see that you could not miss?
Oh, without a doubt. The wrestlers as a kid that I couldn't miss, Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's my personal goat. Sting from WCW. Absolutely could not miss Sting thing. Who else couldn't I miss at the time? I mean, The Rock. The Rock. Um, and the Nation. The Rock and the whole Nation. I actually liked the Nation when I was a kid. Who else? Diamond Dallas Page was cold as a kid. Um, Yeah, as a kid, but then like as you get older, I could not miss Randy Orton. I couldn't miss AJ Styles. Um, who else we got? I definitely couldn't miss Samoa Joe.
Oh
We
yeah,
talking ECW. I don't know if you see it, but Samoa Joe's a big part of my repertoire. And when it comes to ECW, I always had to watch Sabu. I always had to watch RVD, Taz, and Mike Awesome.
oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
And I think that you said that like when we look at how you move, it's sort of similar to Samoa Joe and stuff like that. I like honestly when I watch you wrestle, you put your own spin to it,
yeah,
you know, and that's very big on professional wrestling. I don't want to go on a tangent, but sometimes people they try to copy and paste everything.
hmm
And most times people are not saying, "Oh, that's your move. Oh, that's the Miz's move," or
right,
something like that.
right,
And I
right,
think when you add your own flavoring to it and you make it your own, you make people forget that either you
right.
studied. Because I don't even want to say copied. I'd say studied more than
Study,
anything
right.
because when I look at wrestling, I don't really look. I look at it for entertainment, but I also look at it as I'm studying. As
As for
this is
homework,
my homework, my competition. Oh, this person is the best. I want to face this person because I think I'm the best. So
absolutely.
I think that's like the heart of almost any wrestler. Is sure we have fun, but at the same time we want to see. Okay, is this is what everybody's looking at? Okay, I'm gonna show you what y'all need to be looking at and honestly, you have that aura as a wrestler. You stand out because you look different. Um, I'll say that question
Much
later.
love, no doubt.
Marshawn says you've been wrestling since 2020. Quick ascension to national recognition. That's honestly a big thing.
Much love, man. Yeah.
That's a big thing because just being basically almost 5 years in the business, some people it take them a while to understand the business and to get opportunities. Um, you exceed those. Like I said, ever since you've been on C3, you've never missed a show.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, you show how important consistency is when it comes to those kind of things. So you are you have a lot of opportunities for other companies in other states. Um, that's
Yeah.
also a big thing. How do you feel about that to get these kind of opportunities and stuff for only being almost 5 years in the business? How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm gonna always be grateful for any and every opportunity that I get because while I do believe in myself, but I also know that it's so easy nowadays, and I hate to say it, nowadays it's so easy for people to claim wrestling. It is what it is. There's not be hate. There's just a lot of people out there that do something classic. They say I'm a wrestler. But say, okay, how? I'm not here to hate on anybody. With this, but for these people in like South Dakota, for example, they gave me their whole county. For those people to pick me and say I want you here for as often as I can possibly get. Same goes for companies in Minnesota and so on and so forth. While I am very grateful and appreciative of that, it's absolutely never enough. It's not enough until we reach unspeakable heights. Until I hate to say it, until it's hard for you to contact me. You know what I mean? It's like, like we're here right now, and I'm grateful to be here because most people don't even get what I'm trying to do. We can always go higher. And that's me. And that's me wanting to push myself more, wanting to be out there more, wanting to be seen more, me getting over my own personal opinion of myself. So while I am grateful, I still got more in the bag and I still got more, well, a lot more to do and a lot more to
Yeah, sometimes we can be our hold on, this is an echo. 1 second. Yeah, sometimes we can be our biggest critic. Can you still hear me good?
I can hear you, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sometimes we can be our own biggest critic.
Hmm.
What are some more of the, if you want to, if you don't have to, of the unspeakable heights that you want to reach, if you want to elaborate on that?
Um, I'll put it to you this way. When I can, An ultimate goal of mine would be if I can be a wrestler. When I can wrestle, make my family happy, and support them through the thing that I love the most, that's when I know I. Now, what that entails, where that requires me to go, that's up to the universe to decide. But I'll feel successful when I can say all I do for a profession is professional wrestling, and I'm able to support my. That's when I know I've made it. That's when I know I'm satisfied. I got mouths to feed.
Um,
Most people don't like my attitude and the way I carry myself on things, but it's bigger than y'all. I got people depending on me, whether you like the way I carry myself or not.
oh man, that's a great answer. I love that answer. When you prioritize a lot of things, sometimes people look at you a certain way, and sometimes it's not to just make friends. It's just you trying to elevate. Like you said, you got people to feed. You got people that are dependent on you, and that's always like a big thing when it comes to us wrestlers because a lot of us is trying to make it to that mountaintop, right? A lot of us is trying to do something. We're trying to do this full time and try to provide. And hearing people that's either negative and even people who do care for you say stuff that you don't want to hear. It's kind of hard to hear at times. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, I think with you, I think you're going to go exactly where you want to go and where you need to go. Like I said, you said about 5 years in the business, a different look. You put in the work, you put in promo time, camera stuff, you're showing things, and you have an appeal that I do think that other companies would want. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, even with you guys in the ARC, is that you guys, each one of you individually, have been consistent with what you've done, and your body is your brand, and I think that you do a great job with that. I will say
Much love, I appreciate that. But again, more.
that.
Not to be all right back about it, but yeah, feed me more, dog.
Uh,
We're only at the beginning.
there's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, you keep that same mindset, you'll definitely get to where you need to be. Arshawn asked you didn't look up to Atlas. It's about when you will. I asked you what wrestlers you looked up to.
No, no, no. Atlas, I thought Atlas was still best something like 1967. to get Jabba the Hutt back in the ring. I thought he retired to do Star Wars, but in classic, you're pulling money from somewhere, and I'm proud of you.
No, he's he's still around. Jamie says, Jamie says when I first saw Larkin, it was versus Bray at CCW. It was, I guess it was then I knew Larkin had something very special. Now I see him shining more and more.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, that's real dope. I love hearing stuff like that. That match against Bray was that was technically my fourth match ever. And I think that's the match where you scouted.
Where I
That's
did what?
where you found me. That's where you found me.
Yeah, because you were supposed to debut at 5.
At 5, but I had COVID.
Stuff happened, right? It was
Yeah,
something happened, but
yeah.
after that, you've been there and you've been there since. So
Spent.
from
Yeah.
after 5 to now 15, so that's about 10 shows, like
Mhm.
consistent. So like I said, that's a big thing, and it's like, we butt heads online a lot about ARC business and C3 business and stuff like that, but like I said, when you have people in the comments in the chat, they're asking about it. When I even go to work, people are asking about you guys. Will you guys be there? I like this person. I like Larkin. I like Miles. I like Renee. So, like I said, consistency is key when it comes to it. And I think that you guys, not only just as a unit, but as individuals, you do a great job. So, um,
And credit where credit is due. Red recruited me, man. You know, I didn't think I was gonna be in anybody's group, but those not only did he recruit me, the guys and girls they welcomed me. It's one thing to have a guy just like, yeah, I like this guy, but to have them accept me and treat me as their own right off the bat, I got your back for life.
yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, that's good. And also shout out to C Red as well. Um, I think he has helped open doors for a lot of people in wrestling. And I don't think there's anybody that can really say anything negative about him. So when I first met you, you was very honest about your start and things like that. And but when we see you wrestle, it's like, man, like you're polished. Like, you sure it's only just 5? Like, you sure it may not be 10 or something? Like, that's not something that you can just train of having an it factor. Like, you can try to make somebody have it, but you can't train somebody to have the it factor. And for you to be at this level in wrestling in 5 years, and then you don't want to stop there, you want to keep going. That's also something that you cannot train. Now, I'm not knocking anybody that wants to stay where they're at, because there are times where I've done that myself. That's fine. But when you want to do it for yourself and you want to do it for your people, that gives you more motivation. So the best thing that I could do, and even everybody else, is just to continue to encourage you to get to where you need to be. You know,
Yeah.
discipline, and you're a well disciplined person, especially for just having 5 years in the business. Like, I know people that will have just 5 matches and think that they're just everything. You can't.
No, 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 no. Again, I go back to I was lucky to train at the school that I trained at. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but the school
Yeah.
I was
No, that's
at,
cool. That's fine.
freelance.
That's fine. Yeah.
Um, I was lucky enough to be at freelance. Very diligent, very very meticulous, very opinionated. One of the best places I would recommend people train, and then also, like I said, I grew up wrestling. Man. Like even as a kid, I was studying tough enough, like it was gospel. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
So
tough enough.
you like it gets ingrained in you when you really want it. Like I said, like I was watching Maven, I thought I was like, yeah, Maven's gonna win. But I was calling every tough enough winner based on their skills and everything like that, man. Like I have trainers. I have one trainer that I say time, and my other trainer I say probably made it look like a Maserati. That's how I
Yeah.
like to put it.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky to be surrounded by the people I was surrounded by back when I was in school, and couldn't be more grateful to them.
No, that's good. Shout out to freelance. I know that there's a lot of people that I know that's from like Wisconsin, live close to it, that travel there. So shout out to everything. I don't mind. I don't mind people saying where they came from, because to me, I don't think that's part of a genuine interview. If I tell
Yeah.
you you can't say this and say that, that doesn't that's not genuine on my part. So
Word.
shout out to them and every thing that they continue to do. Arshawn says he would have never thought that you was that new as in the 5 years. So, like I said, man, like man, did you have do you have any music you need to bang an intro? Yeah, those does great with working with people and networking with people to have music that is
Yeah.
won't get copyright strikes and stuff like that. He helped with
Word.
Still the Show. He's helping with a lot of things with C3. So I'm gonna always plug DJ Dose.
Word.
So um all right, we're gonna go into some things where we become honest, right? So,
That's easy for me. Let's do it.
all right, what are some pet peeves that you have in professional wrestling? Things that you do not like.
Okay. Things that I don't like. If I'm being honest, I'm very much, and this might be because of the way I am. Networking is a thing, and it should be. Sometimes, sometimes it can get a little too. How do I put it? I don't know. Clicky, I guess, is the best way. I think another thing that and this is just observation, and I can be very wrong about this. I find it a little bit unsettling that, like, if I were to have, let's say I did not perform to my, I'm the type of person where you should find me in that locker room and say, WTF, do better, be better. I'm not a fan of the, hey, you did great, good job out there, and then I never hear from them. That's just me personally. I like people to be straight up with me. And honestly, I'm dealing with negativity. Like, I want people to tell me I'm trash, I'm washed, or whatever it may be, so I can throw it back in your face. I love that. Give me all the critiques. Like, I don't like that whole, yeah, we'll call you. Like, just be real with me. Say, hey, you're not what we're looking for right now. And I'm going to become what you're looking for. That's what I'd rather be. That's how I'd rather this go. Um, but yeah, I feel like in some cases, and again, some cases it's a popular, and I don't mean that in terms of like this person's getting these opportunities because they're stellar wrestler. You deserve that. These Sometimes these people are getting booked because they just so happen to be popular.
Mm-hmm.
Not like the skill might not be as great as the person,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
No, no, no. I get you. I get you.
Um, and that's not a knock. Get it how you can. Get it how you can. This is a dog eat dog business, man. Get yours any way you possibly can.
For sure. For sure.
But
Uh,
I'm not the most buddy buddy type. So I probably suffer from that. You know what I mean? I'm very much come in. I talk to who I know, associate with who I know, do my job very well, or at least I'm trying to do every job the very best I can, and then I mind my business. And I think minding my business might have been a detriment, might be a detriment to my career.
mind of your business.
Yeah, I know, as crazy as that sounds. I don't get out here and get in the mix of other people. Like, yeah, there'll be groups of people just circling around, like talking, shooting the stuff and all that. And I'm just like, just gonna stretch and meditate over here. It's a
No,
part of the game. It's a part of the game, and I understand that. It's just not for me. I get a little socially awkward, so I just mind mine.
I get what you're saying. I mean, sometimes it is best to keep to yourself, because sometimes people be affiliated with the wrong thing, and
With
then
the
as
wrong
soon as
thing, yeah,
as soon as you go into the circle and laugh at one joke, they're gonna automatically put you in there. And sometimes people is like, it shouldn't matter what people think, but that's not always the case, especially when you're trying to get opportunities and more bookings and you're trying to carry yourself as a professional wrestler. I think that
Exactly.
people need to understand that as well. It's just like you have to reach out to people for bookings, and if they see a picture of you around somebody that you shouldn't be around, then that is a problem.
Right.
um as far as what you said at first about like if you did wrong, be honest with you, that's a good form of discipline, because there are some people that would just say it was a good match and then leave and then won't say nothing else.
Right.
In order for wrestling to be in a better place, people have to be brutally honest about certain situations. The problem is that people care more about feelings than the quality of professional wrestling. And as soon as that happened, because there's platforms, like I got a platform, right? So many people can come in and coddle, and that is the problem with some of the quality of wrestling. Because sometimes, if you had a bad match and they say you had a good match, you know that they're lying, and you need to do better. But you're your own self.
Yeah.
So if somebody else stinks up the joint and then somebody says that was good, they're going to think that's what they need to continue to do to be successful. And
Exactly.
if they are unsafe and they were doing unsafe things, they're going to continue to do unsafe things and hurt themselves and other people. So the discipline part, like I said, you dang near like the stuff that you bring, you can train people can train you how to do moves and all of this stuff, but the things that you have from within, you can't really train that. And like I said, 5 years in with discipline, that's rare. I know people that are like, I'm ready to wrestle, I will do this and I'll do that, and then when it's time to do that, they're like, dang, I gotta really do that.
Yeah. Do what you said you were gonna do. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. That's really my biggest pet peeve. Just tell me I did a bad job. Just tell me you're not interested. It's fuel to my fire. It might be for selfish reasons. I know it sounds selfish. It's fuel to my fire. Just talk. That's all I ask in this wrestling business. If I go
Yeah.
somewhere and I'm trash, tell me I'm trash.
Yeah. Arshawn, he cracked a joke at first. He said, based on match quality, if Larkin started 5 years ago, Atlas started in August. every every time. Has not being buddy buddy in environments that reward that held you back, in your opinion? What would
Wait, what?
you want to compromise and do more snoozing if it got you to where you want it? It's not being buddy buddy in environments that reward you. Held you back. Okay,
What?
he said that at first. He said your first question, Arshan. He was honest about it. Saying basically keeping to himself. But the second part was, would you want to compromise and do more schmoozing if it got you to where you want it?
Um,
That's a good
I'll put it
question.
this way. Knowing who to schmooze with is the way to do it. Like I'm just trying to. How do you answer that?
Yeah.
Like I'm very much like I want the talent to speak for me. I've never, I've never been the type to schmooze. I'm like, I will introduce myself, show my love and respect to whoever it is. But I'm not the type to be up under a person for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, do all that. I'd rather, like, no one has, Michael Jordan doesn't have to say he's the GOAT, right?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
kind of how I want it to be. Like, I don't want to have to be, I want to get to a point where I don't have to be like, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I do this, I do that. Like, I want other people to say, Larkin does this, Larkin does that. That's how, like, back in the day, I used to do that. I'm not going to say I would do these one on ones in these alleys, and one dude would come up to me and be like, "Yeah, I'm better than you. I'm better than you." And then like the whole other group, that's how I want wrestling. I don't want to have to schmooze, for lack of a better term. I I feel like there's a difference between schmoozing and networking. I will always network.
I agree.
Schmoozing is not really my jam. I want
Yeah.
I want I want that talent to speak for me in that.
Yeah, I agree with you when it comes to that kind of thing. Like to me, I only wrestle like three spots, basically two, three spots, and I'm cool with it. I talk to people, but I don't schmooze or anything like that. It's just not in me to do that. Like you
Yeah.
said, I want my wrestling or my promo work and what I bring to the match to do the talking and stuff because a lot of people will want to wrestle every weekend. A lot of people want to wrestle other places. But my advice to you is not you, but to the listeners and wrestlers
People.
that are listening to it is don't compromise yourself. Don't sacrifice and then there's no reward, a little to no reward. And we're living in a time where social media is just continuing to grow and expand. So if somebody says I'm paying you an exposure, I'd say don't do it unless you really want to do it. But other than that, the exposure you can put yourself on social media and go viral and get bookings and stuff like that. If you don't like this person, don't try to talk to them to work for their company. Like they probably know you
Yeah,
don't like them. Like that's just advice for some. So
yeah. The only this is me personally. Do you? If I'm doing a free exposure or one of those type shows, it's got to be against a talent that I will absolutely absorb knowledge from, or
honest,
so it's got to be somebody that's absolutely better than me. I wrestled Chris Masters or Chris Adonis as he goes by now.
oh yeah,
I would have done that for free. I didn't. I'm about my favorite. But yeah, stuff like people like that. I wrestled Jack Draper, Mile High Backup. I would have done that for free too. To be honest with you, you know. So
yeah,
I mean, true. If you're gonna wrestle, hey, do what makes you happy. I'm not here to point anybody in a direction on what to do or what not to do. Do what makes you happy, but also make sure you're not at the end of the day.
for sure, for sure, for sure. Um, couple more questions and I'll let you go. Um,
All right, let's go.
Dream matches. What are some dream matches that you have that you would like to do?
What's my? It could be literally anybody.
Anybody?
So I always tell people for lack of a better term, my most feasible dream match is me versus Kenny King.
Okay.
Is one that can like the one that I feel like we can make happen is me versus Kenny King. Because I do wrestle a certain style, but I didn't always wrestle this style that I wrestle. I feel like Kenny King would be a good opportunity to show everybody what's up. Samoa Joe, of course, been a great dream match. I say Rey Mysterio actually, just to have the experience of wrestling like a true like the luchador. You know what I mean? I want to get every style. Japan, everybody, anybody that's ever stepped on New Japan, I'm willing to wrestle. Rest in peace, Dr. Death. I feel like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, um, do you know Morishima, Takeshita Morishima from Ring of Honor? He was like the really the chubby Japanese guy in Ring of Honor.
Sound familiar? I think I know who you're talking about.
Morishima, he was champion over there for a while. That would be a phenomenal match. Also, Kenta Kobashi. I get a lot of stuff. I watch a lot of Japanese style, but to keep it like for the casuals, I would definitely say another dream match. You know, what's another feasible one? Baron Corbin. He's actually very underrated. I like Baron Corbin.
I agree with you.
Um,
I agree. He's underrated for sure. I agree.
Oba Femi would be phenomenal from NXT. Oba Femi, he would be cold.
That'd be
That would be a
crazy.
cold match. Um, and as far Chad Gable, oh, I need to wrestle Chad Gable.
See,
That's another one where I'm like, all right, that's a level up match. Like the Chad Gables, the Kurt Angles. Eddie would have been phenomenal for me. But yeah, I think about matchups and I also think about learning when I think about my dream matches. Some of these are like, I think we can give these people a great show. And another group are like, we could probably give them a great show, but this is really selfish.
yeah, that's a good list.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good list. Very
Kenny
quick
King
because
knows I want to wrestle him. Kenny King, come outside, bro.
come
Come
outside,
outside, dog.
come outside, Kenny King. I had met him 2 years ago. He wrestled in a Wisconsin show. Shout out to One Fall Entertainment, and he went
Mhm.
against Joey Jet Avalon, and he's like Avalon is like definitely going up there. And
Mhm.
they had a pretty good match, and I had to tell both. I was like, man, that match was pretty good. So yeah, Kenny King, I've always been a fan of. I
Oh,
think that match will go crazy.
and as far as the indies go, Calvin Tankman.
Oh yeah, Calvin.
Let me
Shout out to
get
Calvin.
Calvin. Yeah, Calvin, cool dude. I met him. He's a cool dude, man. We gotta run. We gotta run one day.
Oh
I
yeah,
think me and Calvin will put on the show, man.
for sure. Yeah, that's good. That's a good list.
Yeah,
Jamie
man.
says Larkin and Miles and Good Brothers I'd buy in. That'll be good.
I go. Hey, give me. Yeah, come on. I'm with it. I'm with it. I mean, it's ARC, but come on, good brothers. Let's
Yeah,
go. I'm with it, dog.
yeah. So that's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
man, I don't want to say you had the longest list of people that you wanted to, but I think you may have. But I don't want nobody
I
to quote.
named you. You have my wheels turning, man. So I started thinking, like, I can give you a short list,
Oh
but
yeah, no, no,
yeah.
I definitely understand. But let me see. Trying to get this picture loaded up. Like I said, this new little app is kind of wild, but I won't be able to do it, so I'm not gonna take more time. So let's talk about 15, the takeover. Like I said, I had the graphic, but with this new little thing, it's
It
not
looks like
working.
it's up. I see it. It looks like it's up.
No, I had your
Oh,
versus
oh,
graphic.
the
Yeah,
Versus graphic against Arcade
uh,
Anarchy.
yeah, which is Kenny Nine and Johnny CK.
Johnny CK. Didn't they just beat each other up last?
Yeah, but from what I've heard, outside of Kenny basically being attacked by somebody who I think really is Atlas, they decided to be a team,
Oh, that's
and for some and the board decided that that'll be y'all opponents for this next
how
show.
the
So
board decided that the ARC has ran through this entire tag division to the point where they just got to start putting people together to give us something to do. That's what the board decided. The board had no choice. They had to figure it out. And I guess they think they figured it out. But the results, the same every single time. You cannot match Miles Mercer and Stampede Larkin's continuity. You cannot match it. That boy is one of the best that people don't know about. And I will say that for forever. Miles Mercer is the most underrated wrestler in the Midwest. And that has been our advantage in every match we've ever had as a tag team because people sleep on him. And it's really a shame that they do. Because, man, like, I've learned a lot.
yeah,
His wheels are always turning. And people look at us and they see, oh, they just see the big guy. Let's worry about the big guy. No, no, no. You got to worry about the sly one that's been doing it for 10 plus years. That's really our secret weapon. I've already beat up Kenny Nine multiple places. If you want me to beat him up at your place, I'll beat him up there too. So that ain't nothing to us. Arcade Anarchy can come back to C3 Ultimate as a team if they want to. But did you just see what I did to Russell? Did you see what happened there? I put
I saw.
I put that big old boy on my shoulder with the afro. What do they think? Like, what do they really think they're gonna do to us?
Yeah,
They think they're quick. Miles is quick. I'm
okay.
deceptively quick for my side. Neither one of them stronger than me. I want them to tell me to my face. Look, at the end of the day, another tag team defense, another W. I'm keeping it. We're
And
keeping
that
it.
it. Don't forget, guys, get your tickets to 15 to take over. You could get them via Eventbrite.
Renee
We
Van
are
Peebles is also keeping her belt. I don't care who the mysterious woman is.
Renee Van Peebles is going against a mystery woman. No idea who it is. This is something from the board. So
I would
for
tell
this,
the mystery woman to also wrestle in a mask to save herself the embarrassment that she will have after losing to Renee Van Peebles.
yeah, Whew, man, that's
Simple as that.
crazy. I also want to say this because shout out to Miles as well. Miles is a former C3 Ultimate Wrestling Champion and now the current C3 Ultimate Tag Team Champion with yourself.
Yes,
So, regardless of what people say about him, for the majority of the time he's been in C3, he's been a champion.
he's been a champion.
So, you know, don't look at emotions, look at results. And like I said, I don't like how he did certain things. I don't like how y'all did certain things, but the way I see it, the results speak for themselves. So, you know, that's just a very important takeaway from that. So, like I said, the guy next to me, half of the C3 Ultimate Wrestling Tag Team Champs, he will be at 15 to Takeover. The ARC will be at the takeover. They go against Arcade Anarchy, and Renee goes against a mystery woman. So make sure you get your tickets because it's going to be a very good show. Um,
Another day, another ARC.
he says it's another day in the office for him. I'm gonna read this comment and then I'm gonna ask you something else. He says he said the board is bored of your dominance.
Too bad they can't sleep on me. They're gonna have to stay awake and be bored because it ain't changing anytime soon.
One thing ARC has done wrong is see Red betraying Larkin in a battle royal. Oh,
Uh, uh, brothers fight. Simple as that.
that's a good answer. I mean, it's true. I mean,
Brothers fight.
definitely, definitely true. Um, outside of wrestling, you are a personal trainer, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
I wish the picture was bigger, but unfortunately,
Oh, dope, man. Get my flyer. Yeah, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm personal trainer, man. I do in person stuff. I do online stuff. I actually not only do personal training, I'm actually currently training in like learning how to stretch people properly. I also have like some cupping therapy as well. I'm happy to always take new clients and help lead them on their path to good health and greatness all around. Whatever it may be, whether you want to lose weight, gain muscle. Most of my clients actually are older people that really just want to get their mobility back. And I'm very good at that. So,
I
yeah, man. Come train with a professional wrestler.
come
That's an
train.
experience in itself.
Yep, come train with a professional wrestler. I have a question about that, but
Yeah,
um, physical health should also be a priority. I know that many people we focus on a lot of mental and emotional health, and those are very important too. And sometimes physical gets affected by our mental and our emotional and stuff like that. And sometimes we put the physical on the back burner. Like even now this year, I'm doing better. I'm working out more. I'm eating healthier for the most part. I'm drinking more water. There was a time where I wanted to be buff, but all I thought about was the buffet. But I worked on that. I'm still working on that. Could you tell everybody like how important your physical health and how your physical body, how important it is, not just for wrestling, but just to have a healthier life? Could you talk to people about that for me, please?
yeah, I'll do the best I can when it comes to that, man. Because yeah, physical and mental health. Um, personal experience. Not saying it is fact. Personal experience. The things I've seen in people I work with is that you're usually mentally upset outside of like a traumatic event in your life because of your physical. Whether it is like you don't know how to handle your diabetes or handle your high blood pressure or high cholesterol, or it's so many different things that really affect you physically that really messes with you mentally. Um, and I think one thing you probably hear this a lot. Movement is the best medicine. And that's as far as stress relief, whether you're going for a walk, relieving some tension, whether you're lifting some weights, or really just like trying to do better by doing some burpees. No one likes burpees. But your physical is going because at the end of the day, like I look at my, now I'll be very transparent. I don't really like to put my personal business out there, but I have two beautiful daughters that need me. And I remember when I wrestled in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and I tore my pec. I tore this pec right here, and to the point where I couldn't even lift my arm. I was walking around like this, just like look. I was thinking I can't pick up my daughters, and like
Mhm.
at the time, that's what they lived for. Like daddy's gonna lift me up, throw me in the air, and that's playtime. I can't pick up my daughters, and that's what messed with me mentally. So what I did was that did as much as I could physically. It's a torn pec. You're not gonna lift up an Atlas stone the next day. But
Mhm.
um, I'm happy to say a month later I was able to pick up my daughters. Just those little things like that, like the little things that we take for granted, always get missed out on. I work with stroke patients. You know, they can't walk sometimes. Sometimes after a stroke, you have a difficulty with your gait, and you take walking for granted so much. These people can't walk any well, they can't walk like they used to. We get them back to that. Your glute muscles don't work the way you used to. Your glutes are very important for walking. Take that for granted too. So it's just so many things that you can do to take care of yourself that you take for granted that later your body will appreciate.
Mhm.
I hope all that made sense.
No, no, that made perfect sense. Like even Arshawn says that like that has to be hard, and passion. You can tell that you're very passionate about it.
Yeah,
That's also something
absolutely.
that you cannot train. You know, you
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. It's more for me, it used to be for me, surprisingly, I used to be super skinny, beady old kid. And I was like, man, I'm just sick of seeing my ribs. I think these muscles are going. I'm sick of stuff. Now at this point, man, I just want to be able to like if I have grandkids, I want to be able to run around with my grandkids, man. I want to be able to pick up my grandkids, take them out with their granddad, and not be some boring event where um, respect to any parent that's doing what they do. I have a thing about I don't want to be a park bench parent or grandparent.
Mhm.
I mean, it will come. My time will come. But if I can hold off for as long as I can, yeah. If those girls, if my kids are on the swings, I'm right there behind them pushing. If they're running on the track, I'm right there with them running on the track. It's those moments that irreplaceable moments. That's where the physical comes in. Those
Yeah,
irreplaceable moments, you know.
yeah, yeah. That kind of reminded me of my grandfather. You know, God rest his soul. We was at the park and he had his button-up shirt. He had on some slacks and some Stacy Adams church shoes, and we was literally just walking in the park. And he told me and my brother, he was like, "I bet you I can beat y'all in the race."
Right.
And he said, "Ready, set, go." When I say this man smoked us, you can call us barbecue. We got smoked so bad, and
Exactly.
to me, like it was a light bulb when you start speaking about it because everybody knows about my family and stuff like that, and sometimes we think about just what we have now because that's what we have. But then you said you don't want to be a park bench parent, and that's pretty dope too. And I know sometimes it's so easy, especially me, to just sit down and be like, okay, well, I'll just spend time, but to get up and do the physical things, they'll cherish that as well. I'll never
Mhm.
forget that I lost that race. I'll never forget.
Exactly. I was gonna say, did you see the look on your face when you talked about that race?
Yeah,
Right.
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that this man with Stacy Adams on, by the
With
way, he
and
could have
slacks. He was not ready. He was not ready for a run.
ripped his pants any moment and won. So yeah, like I said, you hit the nail on the head when it comes to like even certain things. Like even when you were saying when you tore your pec, and me having a daughter myself, I'm always picking her up. So
Mm-hmm.
when you can't do that, like I said, I always tell people normals change, man. They change just like that.
They
And
changed.
when a normal change, that means a new normal has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like it, or we may like it. It depends. That's just how the way the world works or whatever like that. So like even that not being normal can be like difficult. because that's something that you used to do. Because I'm thinking of my baby now. She's 4. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be picking her up when she's 18, because
Yeah.
that's my baby. I
That's your
see her
baby.
as
That's
my
right. Yeah,
baby. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
your
Like
baby.
my
Yeah.
boys, that's another thing. But
Yeah.
that's my baby.
Right.
So you were there when I hurt my knee, right?
Which show was that? I
Oh wait,
probably
no, you weren't. You weren't. That was 5.
no.
That was
Five.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Five.
Yeah. So a few a few months before that, my baby was born in 2020, and I messed my knee up, and I could hold her, but I couldn't really walk with her because I could
Oh,
barely
okay.
walk. And that was a little time that I didn't like. I had time off, so I spent a lot of time with her, but at the same time, to try to have somebody help me carry my baby to go to certain areas that up and down the stairs, I didn't like that because I was like, that's something I need to be doing on my own, and I thank God that I got everything was taken care of. I did the right thing, and Shay did what she had to do with my leg and stuff. But yeah, it's just like when you have plans to do certain things and things get taken away, you kind of cherish it more. And
Yeah.
I do hope that whoever's still listening, just cherish what you have because you don't know how long we're going to have it.
Yeah. And to add on to what you said about your normals change, right? If you are physically active, you can control what your normal is
Mm,
for as long as you possibly can. A lot of people like people are surprised, like, oh, dude, you got not bragging, not bragging. They're like, yeah, that's you got a 54-inch vertical. I want my normal to be extraordinary. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Control for as
Yes.
much as for as much and as long as you possibly can.
Yes.
And when it comes to fitness, it's more than just a look. It's a lifestyle. It's definitely a lifestyle. It's really just about you being the best version of you for as long as you can possibly be.
Yeah.
And I want to help with that if I can.
Yeah.
Even if I can't, that's okay. As long as you're taking care of you, that's really my mission out here.
Yeah. So
And for those of you not in the Chicago area, I do write fitness
you said control your normal. I like that. Control your normal. You can also, like you said, change your normal. If you're having back pains, if you're having trouble with your glutes and stuff like that, go to the gym or get a personal trainer like yourself. Change your normal.
change
I
your
think
normal. Oh,
so, sometimes people stay in a painful situation and they're so used to it they become numb to it. They don't know what relief feels like
yeah,
because it's normal for them to be in pain, and that's not how we're supposed to live here. And
yeah.
sometimes we get so used to it, oh, it's just a big part of my life, but you can heal, you can train, you can also change your normal, so
Mhm.
that's a good one. I'm gonna steal that one and I'm gonna use it.
All right, and I'll be waiting on my check in the mail.
For sure.
We don't do nothing
I'm a,
for free. Classic. ARC
I'm
does
a,
nothing for free. Nah, but
I'm gonna put it on the boards tab. They'll pay for it. They can have it.
as long as I get mine, the board
They,
probably having some money
they do.
anyway.
I'm,
But,
I'm gonna put I'm gonna put this up one more time just in case
no, it's
people want
dope.
to
Yeah,
look.
hit
I'll
me
leave it
up.
here for a little, yeah, because
The
we got
Instagram is at the bottom. I got a phone number special for our fitness. It's at the bottom. Feel free to hit me up.
okay,
Happy to listen. Happy to listen and take all clients.
okay.
Don't
One
hit if
more,
you hit me through Facebook, I'm gonna direct you elsewhere. But at least hit me up.
one more potential question. I'm gonna say one more, but hopefully it's not two more. I'm gonna sound like a pastor, but
No,
one
let's
more.
see.
Um, what do you want to be known for in professional wrestling?
Ooh, in professional wrestling, the baddest mother lover you ever met. Young. Simple as that.
The baddest.
When I tell you I'm that guy, I'm only tell you once. After that, I'm gonna leave it up to y'all to tell the story.
That's good.
Jordan never has to say he's the GOAT.
Mm,
We all say it for him.
that's a fact. All right, one more question. One more question.
Hey, come on, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm here.
One more question. One more question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. what are your plans for 2025? Do you have anything besides big or anything like that? Things that other people could see and watch, subscribe, buy, invest into. Do you have anything like that?
Oh, just keep following me, and I'll post as it goes along. Man, I had the honor and the privilege of working SmackDown actually a week after my birthday. Best birthday gift I could have got.
That's good.
I plan on. I'm going to try to keep going back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm inspired to, reappear back on a little WWE. My goal this summer is to do better than my goal this year is to do better than I did. And the only way I can do that is with the support of everybody that's following me, watching me, whether you're watching me and see the ultimate or whether you're watching me at Sound in South Dakota or AWF in Minnesota. Just keep your eyes on me. Share what I got.
Share.
Put me out there. Help me, fam, so I can help y'all later. Cause I
Yeah.
really, my goal is if I win, because we don't speak in ifs. When
Mm.
I get to my goal, I am taking care of my people in my city. I promise you, tenfold, it will come back for anybody that's had my back.
That's good.
So the goal is to be better than last year. Simple as that.
Well, from me to you, you've been improving. Um, every day is a stepping stone. Every show is a stepping stone, a rung on the ladder, and I think that you do a great job. And I do think that like you're gonna go exactly where you want to go with it. Just very consistent, and you're very professional. I also want to say that too. Professional wrestling is supposed to be professional, and you do a great job with it. Regardless of what people say, they cannot call you an unprofessional person. So
That is a fact.
that's something
That
to
is
also remember is that a lot of people say, "Oh, professional wrestling is based off of your pay." No, it's based off of your etiquette. And
a
I think I don't know where that came from, but still, I think that's very important. And I do think you do a great job. Arshawn has a question. Did D'Angelo join ARC? And if he loses to Atlas, are you taking back your business card?
fact. I'm gonna tell you right now. Um, I hate Atlas with a passion, and I don't. D'Angelo better not lose anything to Atlas. Anybody in the world, but when Jabba the Hutt became a snitch, that's when he became the worst man in the world. So I don't expect D'Angelo still to lose anything to Atlas. And if I have to personally help out D'Angelo still, who I just so happen to be a fan of, let's just see what happens.
Okay.
Let's just see what happens.
Those says, are you looking for any C3 Ultimate Wrestling single title belts?
Like I said, we ARC, we want it all. We want it all. Orange Lantern, mine. We want it all. Shout
That's good. That's good. In closing, I want to say
out to
this.
Marcelo Spade, by the way. What up, guys?
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
In closing,
Shout out to Marcelo Spade, the Urban Culture Champion. Woo, wow. Um, I do want to say this. Everybody that's listening, this person right here, let me fix my thumb, is the future. I don't even know. He's not the future. He's the now, and he's continuing to be the future. Um, like I said, this guy is a wrestler. He is a professional wrestler. The man carries himself like a professional wrestler, and I think it's very important to understand that we are our own business card. How we present ourselves and things like that. Trying to learn the game. Like you said, you named so many people that you would love to have a match with. And you said how you studied them and how you would do certain things with them. That's very important. So you're a champion for a reason. One more question, man. I'm sorry.
come on, dog. We're good. We're good. This is the
One
most
more, one more
of all
question.
the guys here,
They,
so
they, 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 one more question. One more question.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Besides working as SmackDown, what is your best moment in wrestling so far?
My best moment in wrestling so far. Um, I have one based on personal. I have one based on fan interaction. Um, my best personal experience outside of SmackDown and outside of wrestling Chris Masters, I'll say. I wrestled a man, Christian Rose, and I've never learned so much stuff from a human being. And just having a veteran being so open and welcome to being open and welcoming.
Mhm.
That's one match that I truly cherish. I personally, it was like I've learned in the ring before, but I felt it. Like you know how it was like a light bulb went off as
Yeah, no, no, for sure, for sure.
as I wrestled Christian Rose. And if you don't know, I don't know if you don't know, look him up, man. It's probably one of the best professional experiences and that was for my personal growth. So I'll name that. And another moment would be when I was in Minnesota. I was on my way back home. Stopped at a gas station, and these two kids, one of which was in a wheelchair, recognized me, and they wanted to take like that stuff is dope to me. They wanted to hang with me, talk to me, take pictures. I'm trying to grab like a Rice Krispie treat to get my carbs back in order after a match. Like I'm chilling. Who am I? You know what I mean? I get a lot of love from special needs kids. They all love me for some reason, and that to me means the world to me. Again, I'll get super personal. I probably won't ever say this again. Both my daughters are autistic, so I feel special needs individuals to a degree. But when I see like these kids that have headphones on in the crowd, I understand them. And when they come up to me on their own, they pick me, they want to take pictures. That means the world to me.
Yes.
Um, I might be, yeah, I just don't like adults. Like, if I'm a jerk, it's because you're an adult.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to these kids, especially special needs kids, and they choose me out of everybody you've seen on a 3 hour show, you can't tell me anything that day. You
That's
can't
good.
tell me nothing.
That's good. That's good. Compassion. You can't train that neither, man. But no, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, I do hope a lot of people enjoyed this and took notes because when I started going live again, I was like, I want to interview people and I want to interview a lot of people. And you were like, I was the most interested in at the time. I was like, you know what? I need to ask Stampede some things. We chop it up from time to time with certain things and we talk about some stuff. And like I said, I was like, I'm very interested to see um, your mindset and
Mhm.
like to hear that you've only been in the game for about 5 years and you're already speaking like a vet. That's a big thing because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm a vet. I'm a vet. I'm a vet. I'm a vet." Usually, somebody will tell you if you're a vet, or they'll put you in that regard. But the way that you look at the game is very good. And 5 years, like I said, some people it take them 10 years to understand and to mature into being a great wrestler and stuff. And you did it in less than 5 years, not even five, less than 5 years. So I truly applaud you for that because, like I said, ego, just results.
That's
people
it.
can get people can get mad at the results, but the results are the results at the end of the day.
That's it.
You
That's
can be
it, man.
mad, you can be mad, or you can be happy. It's here. You can't change it.
That's
You
it. I
can't
don't
change
have
it.
an ego. I want the people to have an ego for me. I want you
That's
to treat me. I want the people to have an ego for me. If it was the middle of 2010 and somebody said Lil Wayne wasn't the best rapper alive, somebody would fight.
yeah.
That's what I want from people. That's what I want from people. If it was the mid '90s and you ain't think Pac was the best rapper, they would fight you. Yeah, that's the passion.
Okay.
I don't need to have the ego. These people will have it for me, and they will jump to my defense the moment you say I'm not. That's what
That's
I'm shooting for.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and
But
grateful for this opportunity to talk. Like I said, when it comes to the wrestling, you may not like the results, but at the end of the day, especially right now with the common enemy, like we can see eye to eye when it comes to the nitty gritty. So grateful to be here, and thank you for even thinking of me and choosing to be here and ARC over everything. I can't hear a word you're saying. I don't know if you're muted. Nope.
what
There we
about
go.
now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a little
It is what it is.
crazy,
It is
ARC,
what it is.
but yeah. Yeah, Arshawn said, "Good thing it made it to the end," which is true. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I got to get new laptop and equipment. Thank you, Arshawn. But thank you for allowing me this opportunity to interview you. You know, you like I said, you are the C3 Awesome Wrestling Tag Team Champ. One half of it. A lot of people love your work, love y'all work. So keep up the good work. And I'm grateful for everybody that's in the chat, Arshawn, Dose, Jamie, and others. I'm thankful for people that like it. I'm thankful for the people that'll probably watch it later or tomorrow or next week or next month or maybe even next year. So thank you guys. Thank you, Stampede Larkin. Thank you for the time. Um, great interview, great talent. Both of you gentlemen represent very well. Glad you came together. I appreciate you, Arshawn.
Hmm.
Yep. All right. See you, Jamie. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.